I'm gonna start. Hello, guys. Welcome to the 23rd podcast. Today I'm Grochaton and I will be the guest today. Thank you to Crowler to invite me to talk about many things about me, about everything about the PvP. It will be really entertaining.
Ah, oui, oui. Bonjour, Grochaton.
Bonjour.
Comment ça va?
Ça va très bien et toi?
Ah, très bien as well. Well,
Excellent.
thank you for introducing me, and it's really a big pleasure having you actually on the podcast. Right, so, well, for starters, how long have you been playing the game?
Since the beginning. Basically, I was starting playing PvE, but few months, and after the first time I was in PvP and I discovered the PvP, I was like, I couldn't stop playing PvP because I'm kind of person who likes sports, but at the beginning, and I like competition a lot. So I need to play games where there is competition. So that's why PvP. I love PvP in every games. So when I discovered the PvP in Guild Wars, I couldn't stop. By the way.
Right, it's sort of this right combination for like the stuff you gotta do with your hands. So, what's it called?
Osteopathy.
Okay, yeah, osteopathy and sort of a thought process that goes behind like strategy and stuff like this.
Sorry, you tell?
Yeah, like I just think Guild Wars 2, like the way PvP works,
Yeah.
it's just beautiful, right? Like it's a
Yeah.
perfect balance if you're looking for competition, but still.
I totally agree. It's a perfect. I love Guild Wars, by the way, the gameplay, the system, and if you include PvP also and strategy and just it makes us a perfect combination. That's really sure. Yes.
Right. Did you play Guardian from the start?
No, at the beginning I was starting with NG, but after I was looking for a support class, and at the beginning Guardian was a main support class, so that's why I started playing Guardian, and I always almost played Guardian. I played when Tempest was support. After I rerolled to Tempest, and mostly every class that was support. And so because I love supporting, I love helping mates, and that's why I try to play support, to play guard support first, core Guardian. And even in the previous games I played Aeon, I was playing Cleric, I was playing I don't know his English name, but all kind of support, by the way. So that's why I love supporting my mates, and I'm trying to do it again.
Yeah, I actually need to do a bit of justice. I've seen you a ton in the game actually, like anywhere from Sin streams, facing him, like in the finals, MA2 finals, many times, or Teapot stream or anything.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't know. Guardian is I don't know, a class I love from the beginning, from the gameplay, from everything. I don't know. And I'm not the kind of person, by the way, to play many classes. I'm not a multi-classer because when I'm trying to play a class, I improve really slow. So I need many games, many time of playing to improve, and that's why I can't play many classes compared to multi classes.
Right, you take a lot of time to actually get into a sort of a play style.
Yeah, that's it. It takes a lot of time to me because I always try to reconsider myself. Always try to watch my games, to stream, to record my games and say, okay, you didn't do that thing really well. And the thing is, I'm really slow at just improving just that, and just I need many times. Yeah.
Right. How many games do you have on guard, if you don't mind me asking?
Actually, 12K.
That's a nice number. I got 11K games altogether, so God, that's a lot of experience, right?
Yeah, 16 games to get 16K games for every class and 12k on Guardian. After it's most of the time it's 3k for ED, and yeah, I played a lot of games, and sometimes it took me a really long to understand the game, to understand rotation, because I think my weakness was rotation before, and especially not the gameplay. But at the beginning, yes, the gameplay probably because I was mouse clicking and I was really slow, fucking slow. I rewatched some games that are on YouTube and watching when I was mouse clicking, and I was, oh my god, I'm slow. And just yeah, it's I have many games. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's a definitely like the other perspective of watching yourself play is the big thing for many players. And I think as well, many players start watching their own gameplay when they start competing a bit more, right? Like maybe
Yeah,
in a
sure.
team scenario, they want to get better or they want to see where they fucked up. So like,
Yeah.
you've always been high on the leaderboards, and like you've always played with a team in the
Yeah,
monthlies
sure.
and such. Like, how did you get into team play actually in Guild Wars?
How did I get? How it's really hard. It's a long time ago because I was just soloing all the time, and one day I was with a French team and say, okay, maybe I can try to play with you, and so we start playing together, and because before Guild Wars allow you to play more as a team, and because you have the 5v5 queue, you don't have it anymore actually. So actually, if you want to play competitive games in team, you only play 80s. And before I was like, okay, we want to go five, the whole team into a ranked. Oh, sorry, you hear me? Sorry, I had an issue. You play actually you are your whole team together. Okay, you go in ranked, you play 5v5, and that's it. And you improve with your team. And sometimes that's what happened actually. Two or three players you have better connection with. Actually, you go with other players, find other players that are on the same level as you, and you made another team, and you improve, you change team, you improve again, and you have people after that you are playing all the time, and you just improve together. And that's why I like in Guild Wars actually, it's playing together, playing as a team, and that's why actually probably I miss the most, because I think we can't play except for the 80s and probably scrims. If you have a team, a good team, you can't play as a team anymore in the game. That's why what is, in my opinion, unfortunate. And I hope maybe one day people, young players, new players, will be able to start to play as a team, to play to meet people, to go in 5v5 queue, and okay, let's have fun, let's play together, let's improve together, let's make a team together. And actually we missed it.
Right. So what you're saying here is you wanted the 5v5 queue back.
Yeah, sure, absolutely, absolutely. I think we talked about it before, but just people, because of the only solo duo thing, are not playing as a team anymore. Okay, they are coming into the PvP. They probably find someone they can queue with, but only one player. And if you want to play with all your friends, actually you have to go in run rank. And if you want to play competitive with your team, you have to wait 80, but the time of 80 is not probably good for everyone. So you can play the whole team together, and that's why I find really unfortunate to remove that 5v5 queue.
I'm just thinking, like, why do you think they removed it?
I don't know, actually, population, in my opinion, the first thing.
So like the queue time was so long that.
Yeah, I think, but I don't know, probably for plat players, but for gold players, I don't know. I think for gold players, actually, because there are more gold and silver players than plat and legendary. So for gold and silver players, you can find a game in 1:30 or 2 minutes. But it's sure for plat level, actually, you have to wait for 5 minutes, 6 minutes to find a game. Probably it's the main reason. But I don't know, maybe there are also reasons. But if you want, I'm thinking about if you want to bring people to the PvP, to bring them to the PvP, you have to bring them some content and not waiting for players to come to bring some content. And actually, I don't know.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like, that can be a truer statement. Like, you can't expect people to just ball into PvP. Like, it's the best game ever, and people are not doing that. Like,
Yeah.
and
sure.
it's 8th year of life. Like, come on, there's no argument there, right? So for sure, you need new content. I think that's a really good point, actually.
Yeah.
On that subject, I'd actually like to move to like your show match. Like, that's content, and that's really interesting game strategy content. So, would you please talk about that a bit?
Yeah, sure. So much. The idea came like, I don't know, 1-2 years ago, probably, because I used to play LoL before, League of Legends. And every year when there are the Worlds for Championship, actually I'm really hyped by the World Championship, not just because of the game, but just because of the event, because of the hype around the event. And I was asking myself, how can you bring more content? Why other games are working, why probably Guild Wars isn't working, and I wanted to bring new stuff. So I was thinking about a draft system, as you can see in League of Legends. So with picks and bans, and try to integrate it into the game with specialization. So we talked about it like it was 1 month ago, probably, with Regan and Waffle and Tenebrae, and say, okay, let's try to do first a show match, first to try to get some feedbacks and we are taking at the beginning the finalist of the monthly, also the last monthly. So one of the finalists couldn't come, so we took the worms and actually Quarantine Crusaders, Celestial Bonk. And so they did the show match, and actually we got many feedbacks. We got good feedbacks, and then I'm really glad to organize that because it brings hype to people. Actually, it was like more than 600 people following the show match. So it's really for just a show match, so for just 3 games. It's just like awesome, in my opinion, just really good, and people were already enthusiastic about that show match. So maybe like we're that the point is to try to improve that content, because we have many feedbacks about, okay, that thing is not good, that thing was good, okay, try to improve it, and probably do organize a tournament later, or even a league. Sometimes it can be good.
Right. So, what was exactly that you did in this specific showcase match, and what are you planning on improving?
Actually, I was like, we were testing two formats. It means trying to. The first format was to ban 2 spec specialization and to allow, and then teams picks 5 specializations. They could pick the same one, but and the second one was to try to ban 3 specialization and also pick five specialization. And we were trying different ways to pick, different ways to ban, and just to see, okay, and to ask people, did you think that one was good? Did you think that one was good? What would you prefer? And actually, into the feedbacks, we got like people want probably specialization to be different in each team, so to do not play the same comp, and so to add more diversity, to more difference, and 2 bans was the thing that they preferred, really. They preferred 2 bans instead of 3 bans. And after, what we want to do is probably organize tournaments, but actually it's really hard to organize it because you need you need people to organize it, to organize in arenas, to administrate, and you need a lot of people to administrate. So we will see, but we will do it sure in a few months coming.
Right. So the big thing is getting players involved in actually pulling it off, right? But
yeah,
we do see good feedback. I mean, you did see positive feedback from the game community because it's more involved in like what gets to be played. It's not just, it's like the other way around. It's not strategizing based on everything, like everything available, but it's more strategizing what specific aren't you gonna be able to pick and will you be able to pick. I really like the format, but I think it'd be really cool if we actually if we made it more frequent even. You know, content-wise, I think it'd be good at least once a month to do this.
yeah, sure. I think that's what we are trying to do, to organize it in that frequency. I don't know if it's the right word in English, but once a month, I think, yeah, probably it can be good. But you don't have, the thing is, many people like Mighty Teapot is trying to organize many stuff, and we have to organize well, to do not organize tournament at the same time as another tournament, at the same time as a monthly 80. So we have to centralize the things.
Exactly.
And
we kind of need to centralize ourselves and kind of create sort of a calendar, like sort of when are we going to do what. I think it's beautiful, like what's going on, like more incentive, more people coming and creating their own kind of content in the game. It's quite really amazing to see.
Sure, and many people are organizing, not only about the PvP, but you have on the Reds, you have many things. Azurable, you have tournaments too, and in PvP you have many people with many ideas, but just because they don't have probably time, because they don't have person to help, they are not trying to do it. And actually that's what with Frenchies we didn't want to how to say we didn't want to say, okay, we're gonna let that on the side and probably do it later. No, we have to do it now, because actually people want content and want new thing and want people to try to organize new thing, and we are that people, and it's not from ANETs that probably that kind of stuff will come.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We're the ones that gotta do something about it. So moving on to team play, I think it's like the most important step that like the vast majority of the PvP player base needs to like make and create more teams in the game and actually get team flow going, so that we have more teams, essentially, like creating team play, because even if you go in high ranked games, you always have these bad experiences with people not knowing how to play in a team environment, right? When it comes to 3v3s, 4v4s, or whatever kind of weird situations.
Yeah, totally agree. Actually, we lacked team. Actually, it's really annoying. And if I ask you for example, how many teams do you know in the game in PvP?
Yeah, I mean, I know all of them basically because I've been talking to everybody, but literally competitive teams that are like that everybody knows about is about rank 55 is competing right now a little bit with Misha and Zen, I guess. That's one. Worms, of course. Numb, and Lakers right now is the new name, right?
Yeah, but Worms and Lakers are almost the same one.
Yeah, but still, like you have these different factions kind of created. Like you have 4 kind of competing teams at the moment, which I think is a bit more than a couple months ago, right?
On the Mota there were many things, but because there was a tournament or Teapot organized a tournament, and so you saw many teams. You saw like 10, 11, 12 teams, and trying to scream a lot, and that's a good thing. And we need that content. We need that content to say, okay, guys, okay, we need teams. We need to try to create teams to give the people the wish to create team. And if you don't have the content to do that, actually you can't. And in the actual state of the game, you don't have it. Don't have it actually. When you are going for 80s, actually, there are not anymore teams playing 80s. Actually, it's been like more than 1 month I came back in the game, and except for probably for the Lakers and probably Gornit and Fly Team, you don't have teams playing 80s. The people are just asking, okay, man, do you want to play? Do you want to play? Do you want to play? Okay, we are full. That's fine. We can go.
Yeah, I think many players as well are just solo queuing. Like no matter the rank, like it's a mantra I think of the game at this point that you just chill out and solo queue. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe duo queue, but as far as team play, yeah, I think we need to kind of create a hub sort of going, like team environment gameplay going for sure.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And that's why I told you before, it's just because of there is only solo and duo, you can't go for a full team.
Yeah, what do you think of the current duo, actually? I saw you play a couple of games on streams.
In 2v2?
Mm-hmm.
2v2, actually, I find it fun, and I think it's something we must see probably more, because it's really important. Even when you are playing full team, I think 2v2 is really important to bring more synergy into a team. I know really well Tenebrae. That's why in the queues in the games you saw just before, I'm playing with him because I know it really well. It's like a node. No, it's a core with Flash, Tenebrae, and I. And because we used to play together like for 2 or 3 years, and we are trying to keep that synergy most of the time and playing together. And I think that 2v2 is a really good thing to bring synergy, and especially when you are in full team to play when you are playing 2v2s. If you have that synergy, you can be better than the other teams, and that's a way to bring synergy. By the way, when you, if I remember the whole times, by the way, it's like people were all the time doing 1v1. They were all the time doing 2v2, even 3v3s, trying to train team fights in arena. And actually, you don't see it anymore. And when people are screaming, they are screaming, okay. But that's only that. They are trying to play as a team, but just not trying all the content PvP can bring. 1v2, 2v2, 3v3, trying to train the 1v2, trying to train the 2v3, trying to kite properly, and actually you don't see any more teams trying to train that, because they can't. You don't have teams. You don't have people you are playing all the time. You don't have that 5 people you are playing all the time.
Of course. I mean, as well, because there's no team incentive, you don't have static fights. I mean, of course you have static fights, but like as in 2v2, it's not really on anybody's radar until somebody else goes like, hey, there's a thing called 2v2. Right? At least that's what happened to me anyway. Like, it took years of me playing Guild Wars to actually like, oh, there's a, you know, players are actually competing in these 2v2s, 3v2s kind of thing before they even came out. But like the whole strategy, like, okay, so I was thinking the big thing that I would say, like, that I learned from these kind of 2v2 scenarios, duels, is positioning. Like that's the one thing that I was really lacking, I guess, and I'm really watching on my positioning. And this is what I see in really competitive gameplay. Really good players are really using position to, you know.
Yeah, Yeah, it's awesome. The positioning is just that's what I'm trying to improve in my gameplay in my streams. You know, I've got some themes. I don't know. Some when I'm starting a stream, I'm like, okay, today we are gonna try to improve the positioning, and then probably try to improve the CD management. And because to me, positioning, if you have a good positioning, you can rotate well, you can have a better CD management, and you can improve your gameplay and positioning. That's what probably makes the difference between really good players, and probably the rest. After you have the rotation, you have the strategy, you have the tactics, and actually, because people are not playing as a full team, they don't have tactics. They don't know how to rotate. They don't know how to move on a map, and that's unfortunate, by the way. And you have many people. That's why I told you when we talked before. It's just people really improved into with the gameplay, the proper gameplay of the class. But with all the strategy and the tactics, it means positioning, rotating, is getting worse and worse, probably.
What would you say is like the one big thing that, like, as maybe not a top player like yourself, but maybe somebody that's a bit lower, wanting to get better, what would you say is the one big thing that they would need to sort of look out for?
For can you repeat the question? It's just, I think I understand, but just I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a really general question. So like whatever, you know. But like, what would you think in PvP is a big thing to watch for, if you're like wanting to improve in, let's say, the current scenario, like where you can solo queue, duo queue, let's say.
Positioning. Actually, is the main thing you have to improve first is positioning. It's just positioning first, but you have to know well your class, and not only your class but every class, and what every class does. It's okay. You play that class. You are a team fighter. You are a roamer. You are a duelist or side holder or node holder. And first you have to know that, because that is conditioning what you will do and what you have to do. If you don't know what you have to do, you can't rotate properly. You can't be at the right place in the right place at the right time. And after that, into the team fight, you have to improve into team fight 1v1, 2v2. You have to improve your positioning. That's probably two main things I think that are really important.
Right. How? Okay, let's say I would like to try out guard.
Yeah.
Like, of course, like every class has their own kind of thing. Let's say Angie, I know I'm gonna survive. I'm main Angie. Thief, I know I'm gonna survive because I can, stealth out and run. But if I'm guard, I know I'm really slow. So like many times I'll get just like obliterated. I'm not tryharding or anything, but like I'm really getting fucked on guard if I just try a game. So
the problem of the Guardian, actually, when you are playing it, it's like you have every class, every build you are playing is you have like better builds in other classes. You want to play a support, you have better supports. Actually, your warrior is better in supporting than the guard, and even better in sustaining, even better in mobility. If you want to play a side holder, you have better side holders with better mobility. So they can disengage, they can survive easily, more easy as when there is a +1. And if you want to play something that has damage, actually you have to burn the edge, and you have better things than to burn the edge. So it's something, actually Guardian is like, you are slow, you don't have the best sustain, and in everything you do, you have better builds in other classes. But if if I would tell people to play Guard, play something you like first. Just if you want to play support, you play the core Guardian actually. And it's a really hard question for a Guard, by the way. It's huh? Core Guardian support actually, and the other thing is I tail crafted some a Firebrand build. At the beginning, it was a team fighter build, and then I swapped to a duelist build, and actually it's a Firebrand. I swap between amulets, between traits, depending on what I'm facing, and actually it has good matchups in 1v1. But it's like you have good matchup in 1v1, but you can team fight also, and that's a good thing about Firebrand, in my opinion. That's probably can be polyvalent. And the main problem is it's slow. If the Firebrand was faster, it would be just even more meta than actually, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I find the burn really difficult to deal with if I'm playing some specific classes, let's say.
Yeah, the burn DH actually burn is insane. Burn even Firebrand, even the Sage brand, the burn you are dealing is insane because you cleanse like 4 stacks of burn, and the problem is you have immediately some burns on you, and just it's really hard to deal with. It's a question of positioning most of the time against the Firebrand. Against the burn, by the way.
Yeah, guard can be really like stressful to deal with if like he's got you in an AoE, but if you can kite it kind of well.
Yeah.
But like, what about team play? It's a different scenario, that right? Like guard was always kind of not picked. I guess core support was a big thing in team play always, right?
It's a big thing, but as I said, it's just slow. And actually, I think if you compare to Warrior, we talked about it with Flash just before, because he tried both in 80. The thing with if you compare to Warrior is actually Guardian has better healing probably than the Warrior. But the thing is, if you use well and a lot of blocks, a lot of dispels, cleansing, sorry, not dispels, cleansing. And if you compare to Warrior, the problem is the problem of the Guardian it has no sustain. It has less sustain than the Warrior. Warrior, you have if you are playing like actually the heal breaker, you have your F2, you have your resistance, a lot of resistance. You have the shield, many things that can just improve your sustain. And the problem of the Guardian, if you are under pressure, you are obliged to kite, and you will use your CD to try to sustain. And so the CDs you used, you can't use for your mates. When you are playing a warrior, if you are under condi pressure, you use the resistance. You can save your shots for your teammates, and that's the problem actually with Guardian. And even when you have probably the most annoying thing about the Guardian is physical damage. You are really vulnerable against physical damage. And that's the problem you have when you are playing Firebrand, when you are playing Core Guardian, sorry. And physical damages are insane on the support, on Guard support.
Right. Did you play Sage brand support back in like Scourge days?
Sage brand?
Yeah, heal brand was more of a thing, I guess, with the Scourge, you know?
Yeah, Firebrand. I used to play Firebrand with when the Scourge was OP. Actually, yeah. I used to play the Firebrand, sure, and it was insane. But they nerfed it a lot. The thing is, they nerfed a lot the Firebrand, really a lot, because too much cleansing, too much healing, and because actually the meta before was like Scourge was insane, the condition was insane, and The thing is, they nerfed really hard the Guardian, so Tempest became meta after that, and that's why after that I played Tempest again.
That's good. Like, did you enjoy Tempest more than Guard?
Yeah. Alors, sorry, it was French. Tempest, the gameplay is really interesting to me. More interesting than Guardian because you have more diversity. You can swap between attunements, elements, and actually it's like faster than the Guardian gameplay is really slow, and when you are playing Tempest, you can be fast. You can be really fast in what you're using, and that's why I like a lot in Illy in Tempest gameplay.
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean. It's a lot more like momentary, more than just static support that's constantly like giving out boons and heal.
Totally. And Illy, the gameplay wise, in my opinion, Tempest, the gameplay is insane as a support. I wish probably Tempest came back to support, and I wish it come back. It come back meta.
Oh, I think it's still a viable support to a degree. Like,
yeah, it is. It is, but it's not actually stronger than the Guardian and the Warrior in terms of supporting.
Yeah, I do see more, guards and warriors now for sure than Tempest. But still, like every time somebody has a Tempest, and if it's a good Tempest, the shocking aura is gonna do its.
Sure, totally. Not only the shocking aura, but every auras, everything can be a good thing if you are playing Illy.
Yeah, and usually a necro with that like makes makes trouble. Like, especially because let's say Reaper works really well with Ellie heal, right?
Yeah, totally. Tempest and Reaper are a really good synergy. Yeah.
But Reaper doesn't work well with Warrior, let's say.
It works well actually, I think, because Warrior has a lot of CCs as Illy has, and so I think it's working well. By the way, I didn't try it, honestly, but I think it works well. Probably better than Reaper and the Guardian.
I mean, I think it's for sure like a question of matchups because we tried it out with my mates like when the Warrior started being viable again on heals, like in a couple in-house matches, but for sure, like I think they're trying to balance out that all of the healer roles are like more or less the same amount of impact, have the same amount of impact. So I think maybe we like if the Ellie isn't performing as well as it should, maybe it's gonna see something of a buff, I think.
Yeah, that's why I think probably we can bring a lot more diversity in guild wars, in team comps, and that's why probably the draft system is probably a good thing because you can bring that diversity, and especially in support. In support, you can adapt your comp and adapt the support you're gonna use, facing that kind of team, and probably can be good. Yeah.
Right. We need players' input to structure that actually, right?
Yeah.
You got any idea on how you would approach structuring a match, like, or you would just go free, like pick whatever you want?
You're talking about tournament?
Sure. Yeah.
I thought about it actually. If you want some ideas, I had actually is you can do with draft system. You can do many kind of tournaments. You can do like a lower and upper bracket with only BO1 and with draft, and after on finals you can play BO3, but because it takes many time to do the draft, it takes many time to picks and bans, and so if you want to do not annoy people, you have to make it really fast, and that's the main problem about draft system, by the way.
Do you think we could do it in advance, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Like, maybe it's a separate occasion that's done, and then the matches are done.
We can do it, but just the problem, you can do it with the first game, but you don't have to do it too early because people will prepare a lot, And the thing when you are doing the draft system is people must have the surprise. Must be surprised, and that's why doing it in advance, it's, in my opinion, I don't know if it works. You can think about a strategy. The strategy you have to, in my opinion, when you are doing draft system, you have to be surprised and to try to think the few minutes before the game, and that's where you can probably make the difference between good teams and probably lower teams, because they can analyze really fast, and so make a strategy really fast. So doing it in advance, Freilina proposed it when we did the show match. But if you are in the BO3, you can do it in advance, because you can anticipate between rounds, between games. Okay, first game we have that, second game we have that. Okay, we're gonna do that. Probably play a bad comp on that game and probably try to do it better. I don't know, but just it's really hard to do it in advance, in my opinion.
I see. Yeah. Well,
it has to be a strategy in time.
Yeah. I guess it needs to be prepared in a sort of way, like when the players hurry up as well, you know, maybe, so that it doesn't lag, like on any part that it shouldn't.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of streaming. Sorry, did you want to say something?
No. Tell me. Sorry.
No, yeah. What are you planning to stream?
Sorry. What I'm playing, like what kind of class, what kind of.
Yeah, like what are you gonna stream in the future?
Guild Wars.
No, but like Guardian competitively, you're just gonna stream solo queue? Or?
I don't know. Actually, it depends. Actually, I want to plan a really specific schedule. Like, okay, on Tuesday, Wednesday, and probably Sunday, I'm gonna do specific thing. On Tuesday, probably it will be like a chill, something chill. Like, I don't have something specific in mind, but on Wednesday, it's like I'm focusing on my gameplay. So the thing when I'm streaming is, okay, on the Wednesday, for example, it's just, okay, we are focusing on positioning. Okay, so what I'm doing is just playing, trying to focus on positioning. It can be every class, by the way. It can be support, it can be Firebrand, like Duelist Firebrand. It can be whatever, Guard support, Elite support, it can be Reaper, it can be anything, but just focusing on positioning and positioning well. So I'm doing the game, playing the game, and then, okay, after the end of the game, I took the record and I analyze my record in live, in stream. So saying, okay, that thing I didn't do it properly, so I have to improve my positioning, being in that part of the map, in that part of the team fight, and so to avoid to take melee damage, to prepare my kiting, and so I analyze most of the time like that, one game after one, and sometimes I ask viewers to send me their records, and especially I plan to do it the Sunday, and I plan to, okay, they send me the record and then I analyze the record, and so I'm with the viewer on the stream, on the stream and on the Discord, and I say, okay, you did that thing good, you did that thing bad. Okay, you have to focus on few things: positioning, on kiting, on probably, I don't know, it's supporting probably, because sometimes when you are playing support, you see some supports that try to chase a target instead of supporting their teammates. And just you have to focus on one specific part and try to improve it for the next record. And so 1-2 weeks later, we are just doing another analyze and just trying to see, okay, did you improve? Or did you do good, or did you do bad? And trying to improve and to to bring some team play also. It's, also bring team play, bring better gameplay.
Right. You wanna just essentially teach the community as much as you can, right?
Yeah, I want to help people to improve in gameplay, and to do not say, okay, you have to be good in what you are doing, but to give basics, because people actually, when you see, they come in PvP and probably they don't have the good basis, and I'm trying to help them with the basics and just tell, okay, that are the basis of PvP. Learn them, and then you can try new stuff and try to go out of the basis and improve and go better.
Dude, that's a really cool idea and a really, really nice incentive you got going. Like, for somebody to send you their footage and like to have your input specifically on their gameplay, that's really something.
And actually, I'm doing it with like it's not paint, but I'm drawing on the screen so they can see during the stream when I'm trying to say. It's okay. You have to positioning there to position to positionate or position. I don't know the English word, but just you have to position it there. You have to position it there. Your positioning is not good. Okay, or something. What I'm doing is like it's we called it draw my road. It means, okay, you are in that situation. You see like 3 or 4 people in front of you. What's the good road to take? What's the good way to take? And so I try with the drawings to help them and say, okay, it's more like visual thing. And so trying to help them with that visual thing. So it's more like pedagogic. Or how to say
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pedagogic? Uh, yes, it's like it's it's something like teaching, but just with drawings and just so it can be more visual. Yes, pedagogic.
Yeah, exactly. Because like a lot of people function on visuals a
Mm.
lot more than just talking, right, or voice, let's say.
But one thing I'm telling them is, okay, I give them some advices, but just it's not because they are doing mistakes that's it's bad. It's just something like you do a mistake, okay, go do your thing until the end. It's not a problem if there is a mistake. Everybody's doing mistakes in the game. There is no a perfect way to play. It's just you will do good thing, you will do bad thing. You have to do more good things than bad things, by the way. And when you are doing things, it's for the team. It's not for you only. When you are kiting, when you are living, when you are trying to survive, because most of the time people are just like, okay, I was 1v2, I died, and people can't win the map. What's happening? And they don't understand that their death is deserving the team. And and I want people to think more like a team play than just their own gameplay, by the way, too. It's a thing that people are forgetting a lot. And so they have to think, okay, if I'm doing this move, it's because it's useful to my team. Okay, if I'm disengaging a 1v2 and to go in another part of the map, it's just because it's useful to my team, and I want this of the team. And if you want to do less mistakes, you have to think about the team before, by the way.
Yeah, of course. You have to be paying close attention to the map and what's going on and everything.
That's why my map awareness is really important. To
Yeah. I think that's really cool. I would like to actually support that in some way. Like, we could do something with the in-house leagues in that sense, like going over some footage or something. I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah, that's what we talk about coaches.
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
In live coaching, like sites. That's a good idea, a really good idea, because it can be really helpful. But I don't know if people, because sometimes there is a pride of many people. Okay, they think, okay, I know that. I know that. I'm pretty sure. They are telling you, I know that, but they are doing the same mistake all the time. And because they are proud, they don't want to reconsider it themselves, and they want to. Okay, they think they did good, and they don't want to try to. Okay, to say, okay, if that person is telling me it's not good, probably there is a reason. And that's the same thing in ranked. When you are playing in ranked, people are just all the time they are crying and just they are upset because they think people are not going good around and they are doing good and they don't try to improve. And that's a problem of, by the way, solo duo. They don't play enough as a team.
Oh yeah, for sure. In that sense, it's a complete shit show. Like, I'll heal an ally, and the guy will just like ignore me. Like, he won't heal me or like or anything. He'll just ignore the fact that I heal him. It's like sometimes people are so into their own gameplay in the moment, like maybe focused on just one guy they're trying to get down. They don't see that there's like 8 other players around. Right?
Definition of tunnel vision.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of that because I mean, to a degree, the game is complicated. Right?
The thing is, if you want to play the game properly, you have to take basis. Okay, you don't have to die. The first thing is you don't have to die. All the time dying, except if you die after 40 seconds by being 40 seconds or 1 minute after being chased by 3 people. All the time dying is worse, by the way. It's not worst. It's not worth how to say. It's bad, by the way. Dying is a bad thing, by the way. And that's the first thing in the game. When people are dying into a game like me, I'm upset after myself. When I'm dying like 2 times, to me it's too much. 2 times is just too much for the game, and obviously it disturbs the team. And many people doesn't understand it. First thing, that's it. And you have to focus about your gameplay then. But if you want to be a good player, you have to also think what is the point of view about my teammates also. If you have a mate that is playing support, for example, he supports you, he heals you, and you are coming back into the team fight without probably any CDs, waiting for your mates to heal you, you have to think, okay, he used my heal before. Probably he doesn't have healing anymore. So I have to be really careful. So you have to think about yourself, and you have to imagine what are the CDs of my teammates. And sometimes you see your teammates running away and you are saying, oh man, why are you leaving me? And okay, probably it's a bad thing, misrotation, but probably you have to think in another way. Okay, probably if he leaves, he doesn't have any CDs left. So I have to be careful. And you have to think about in terms of team play. You have to think about your CDs, your mate CDs, and that's why it's really complex.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's not just holding points. It's not just being aware of the map, like who's playing what. It's like down to like who's there with you in the moment. Like everything, every little detail. Like sometimes, many times, but sometimes it happens to me. I'll get confused. Like an ally I thought who was like a Tempest healer turns out to be like a Lightning Rod or some weird variant of that. Or like a build that I like a Scrapper and turns out to be a damage, or like vice versa or something like that. And it's you have to pay real close attention, even if you know exactly like a lot about the game. Let's say you got to pay close attention to who's playing what, because it can really make a big difference, especially if like if you see a symbol of a whatever spellbreaker, you'd think like, okay, that's a healer, but maybe it's not, right? You need to know.
Yeah. You need to pay attention about that. And also you have to know, okay, you are in 2v2, what is the matchup? Do you have the matchup? Don't you have? If you have the matchup and you can try to take it and try to win it. If you don't have the matchup, play safely. Try to out-sustain probably the enemy. Try to kite more. Try to earn some time waiting for your teammates to +1 probably, and to win the rest of the map. Or just probably leave the 2v2 and try to win the rest of the map. It's really something really strategic, and people are just going into the fight and trying to say, okay, I'm gonna do it, and they die. And they die.
I really like team play,
Mhm.
team gameplay. I can't wait to see more teams pop up and more plays like that,
Mm.
because that's like the bulk of the good plays.
It's something team play is, and just playing as a team, playing with your friends, because I call them friends actually.
Of course, yeah.
It's playing with your friends is just something awesome. I remember like now it's 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I was connecting into Gear Wars and saying, okay, good, I'm gonna play as with my team. Okay, we meet and we go for game. We go to scrim, we go to play games, we go to train, and actually when you are playing, okay, when you are connecting into Guild Wars, it's like, okay, when is the 80? Is there my friends connected? Okay, if they are not there, who can play solo duo? And you are waiting, losing a lot of times because you are not playing together. And I was so impatient before. Every time I was connected, I remember I was like, fuck, I want to play with them. I just want to play with them. And I was so hyped by playing in team.
Yeah, of course. It's the interesting gameplay because it's close games, it's the calls you make, it's not just random rotations.
Sure. Sure, because you are training, you are trying to improve. Without my teammates, I wouldn't have improved about kiting, about rotating. Without them, I wouldn't have understand the content of the game. What was the strategy in the game? Without recording myself, I wouldn't have understand neither. And that's something I miss a lot, rather honestly, really.
Are you planning on joining another team or starting?
Sorry?
Are you planning on starting another team?
I wish. I wish actually with the, if I could, honestly, I wish I could play again with especially Tenebrae. I was with Indio on the previous game when I was streaming. And with Flash, also, who used to play with French Worms and actually is playing for the next monthly with Aeon, with Tenebrae also, Pain Aeon. And I wished I wish really I could play again with them as a team, but we because we used to play together and we love playing together. That's the thing.
Oh, why don't you?
Actually, because on next monthly 80, I can't. I'm not there. But actually, because I came back only 1 month ago, and it's been like 5 months I didn't play. But the last time I played with them, it was for the Mota. And for the Mota, it was a bit weird because we had some troubles and in little dramas. And so that was really unfortunate because we had a good team, really good team, and actually all the time when I was playing with Tenebrae and Flash, we one player was missing all the time. First we were playing with Esprit, then we were playing with Kida, and all the time there was a last player that was missing. And and yeah, yeah, and I wish I could play with them, honestly, because I like playing with them. I know it's really good players, and I'm enjoying because we learned a lot from each other, and really, they are really awesome players to me. One of the best players probably I ever done in Guild Wars. So they They're really good, and I like playing with them. We are always like together. We were saying like with Tenebra, kidding, but just Tenebra is like with Flash, it's our little brother, and yeah, we it's really friendly, by the way.
Dude, that's awesome. Like you're gonna get then the next monthly, right? Like the February one, I guess.
January 1, probably. Probably, I hope so. I hope we can do it. I don't know what will be this. I don't know. Probably Tenebrae won't be there. Flash won't be there. We have to find two last players that are also at the same level, and who has also, because sometimes when you are playing with people, they don't have the same vision as you have. Sorry, they don't have the same vision. So when you are trying to build a team, you have to be on the same level of vision. You have to think the same way about rotation, the same way about sustaining, the same way about team play. And sometimes it's really hard because most of the time, and that is the problem we had when we were training for Mota, trying to create a team for the Mota, and even for some monthly 80s before, is every time we are taking some people that are not used to playing as a team. So there are really good people in solo and duo queue, but when you are just moving them to a team, the level is decreasing, and they are not on the same page, if you know what I mean. And that's really unfortunate. And you are trying to tell, okay, you are a really good player, man. Okay, when you are in 1v2, no, just don't die, just don't take risks, keep the neutral, keep kiting, lose a point, whatever, but just don't deserve your team. Try to play like more strategic. Think about what you can do to, if you are like probably 1v2 or something, try to think about how can you improve that situation and make it like really good for you. And sometimes it's really hard to explain. There is a barrier from the language sometimes, because we are Tenebra and Flash, we are French. Sometimes when you are playing with international people, then it's just probably they don't understand you, they don't hear you. I don't know. It's really difficult. And that's why most of the time Frenchies are always together.
It's just easier that way, communication-wise.
Yeah, it's easy as communication. That's sure. And sometimes French people are just bad in English. Me, sometimes I don't understand. Even if I like lived in London for like 1 year, sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm obliged to ask people to repeat, and that's really hard sometimes.
Fuck it, that's how life is sometimes.
Mm.
A language barrier,
Yeah, totally.
but that's okay. I mean, I was in France actually
You told me, yeah.
for a couple of weeks. Like nobody from the French people except one lady spoke any English, but we got along just fine for the entire time.
Yeah, that's the drama of French people. We can talk about the French learning, the English learning in France, and just
Yeah.
wow.
All right. Well, I think we could close it off here. Actually, we've been going for a while.
As you want. Yeah, I'm glad to talk with you. It's really interesting.
Oh, thank you. It's really nice talking to you as well.
I don't know if people will understand everything, but
This is why we have it recorded, right? So you can like go back and we have the comment sections on YouTube and stuff. People can ask.
Yeah. Sure. We're glad to. There is so much things to talk about, by the way. So about PvP, about The thing, probably on the next podcast, the thing is one subject is that is interesting, and I was thinking about is how to improve the PvP. Because okay, we are talking about it there, but how to improve it? What are the way to improve it in terms of communication, in terms of content,
Yeah.
and probably useful for probably ANET because communication is what is lacking actually.
Oh yeah, this is the whole point of this whole podcast, kind of
Mm.
communication, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and I wish they communicated before, when there were pro leagues, and they didn't communicate that much. Huh? Even ESL Go 4,
Yeah.
they didn't communicate that much, and just in game, you have on the top right corner, you just say, "Okay, guys, there is a tournament there. You can subscribe."
Dude, I think I mean, at this point, like, we kind of just have to do something about it, like, ourselves, if we want something. And that's it. Like,
Yeah.
just kind of forget about the whole kind of ArenaNet side of things in that sense, I think. Like, we had the
Yeah,
support of some individuals. I would like to say CMC, fantastic guy, like, always up for talking, for debating. But
yeah,
he's just one dude. And it's a giant ass game and a lot of things going on. And ArenaNet's a big company as well. So
mm,
what we can do amongst ourselves is definitely what you, Grochaton, are a great example of doing. Like, trying to convey knowledge and interaction. Like, send me your stuff, like, so I can review it, and from a really good player, experienced player, which I think is fantastic and absolutely needed.
mm.
And I would wish more of the community would get engaged in that way. I mean, it's sure great to have a laugh like on stream and whatnot, but knowledge is really important in this game because it's not so obvious. It's not a shooter game. It's not so obvious that you're just shooting somebody as accurately as you can or whatever and jumping. There's so many moving parts that we kind of, whatever specific avenue you're on in this game, we kind of have to kind of gather players from those different avenues and like to talk about specific stuff like that. So like on the subject of improving the game, for sure. I think we should actually dedicate a podcast to that.
Yeah. No, but transmission is really important and to players because actually some videos are on PvP and just basis of PvP, but people don't watch it. And we have to do that transmission with every podcast you do, with every streams we are doing. People, the thing is, when I'm streaming, I'm not doing like, okay, I'm streaming, I'm probably a good player. I'm not even just saying I'm a good player, but just I do my play. I do my gameplay and just show it. And I'm not trying it saying, okay, I'm one of the best. No, I'm just showing it and trying to help people. If they have questions, they talk, they ask, and they try to get that knowledge, as you said, and that transmission. We have to do streamers, PvP streamers. We have to let our ego on the side and just help people. We are doing it to help people, to bring content and to help people, to give them the passion of playing Guild Wars. And that's why I'm trying to do.
Yeah, the patience of playing Guild Wars.
Yeah.
That's a nice way of putting it. You need patience to play this game. Like, not to rage quit, but to like learn some stuff.
Yeah, sure. Sure. And that's why when I came back on the game, I said, okay, I won't rage quit anymore. I won't insult anyone anymore. do it with fun, do it with love, and with just fun. Because even if there is a competition, you have to, when you are playing, you have to love. You have to be happy to play it, to be happy to feel the competition, to feel the challenge. And that's what I like the most. And no. Yeah, I wanted to 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 free my passion, my my how to say my my will to share my passion and my enthusiasm.
Nice. I think patience is a big virtue, especially when it comes to like competition. Like to anybody that's trying to actually be good at something, whatever it is, but especially competing a bit with other people, you need to have a level head sort of patience to strike at the right moment and watch for the right stuff, especially if it's a game, right? You need to kind of it's not your job or anything that should cause stress in your life. Much more the opposite, right?
Sure, that's it. That's it. And most of the time, people, if they are getting upset when you are playing into the game, just leave, take a breath, go and cook. I don't know, just do other stuff, and just calm down, keep cool, and just yeah, come back into the game and try to enjoy the gameplay, enjoy the game, enjoy playing, enjoy sharing a game with some other people, and especially when I'm facing strong people, strong players. I want to just, I'm not like saying, okay, it's too strong. No, no. I'm glad to play against him. Just, it's a chance to be able to play against better people, against probably, and to try to show them like, okay, I can do good things and can show it to the people when I'm streaming, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, streaming is a definitely perfect media for that.
Mm.
All right, so to anybody that's listening to thus far, we salute you. Definitely check out Grochaton on stream. As he said, he's streaming regularly. Join the in-house leagues, the Discord server in the description below. We're putting on games constantly. We're trying to get the entire PvP community involved in this. So to put on events, form teams, and to get more prize pools and content and everything. We're just trying to make the PvP scene literally better than it is. Yeah. It's great, you know. Like, not the scene, but the game. It's the best PvP game ever, so.
Yeah, in terms of gameplay, it's just awesome, and we have to keep it. We have to keep it. Yeah, that's a word probably.
And you know, even like I don't know, sometimes I find myself creating some words out of nothing. You know, something that sounds like a word but it's not a word, or like resembles another word. But you know, if you listen to what I'm saying, you kind of get the meaning.
Yeah, totally.
I don't think it's a problem.
No, absolutely not. If the meaning was a problem, actually, the whole podcast would be a problem sometimes because I'm not using the right words.
Although it's really cool to hear the French accent at all.
Do you think I have a French accent? Okay.
Oh, for sure, of course.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have a German accent.
A French accent if you want. There is a French accent.
All right.
Was good. Really good.
All right. See you later, guys.
See you later. Thank you.